Okay, we're up to the second Aliyah in Parsha Chaya Sarah. And so the field of Ephron, which was in Machpelah, facing Mamre, was established as Abraham's possession. This included the field and the cave that was in it, and all the trees that were in the field, which were within its entire border. So now we know like the geolocation of what Abraham actually bought. It was to Abraham a possession before the eyes of the son of Heth and present of all who had come within the gate of the city. Again, a public transaction, not done in private, not done between two people where nobody knew about it. And afterwards, Abraham buried Sarah, his wife, in the cave of the field of Machpelah, faces Mamre, which is in Hebron, in the land of Canaan. The Torah is very repetitive. And the field and the cave within it were established to Abraham as burial property purchased from the sons of Heth. I mean, was that 4 or 5 times it's repeated? I mean, the Torah doesn't waste ink, right? Whoever wrote Torah, either God or UK, the 4, groups that supposedly wrote the Torah and the documentary hypothesis, they really didn't, they didn't do a good job editing here, right? Because they didn't need to say this 5, 6, 7, 8 times. And either way, you have to ask the question, why is the Torah repeating itself over and over and over again, telling you that it's in public? Because it's super important, because now people want to dispute who owns this property. And that, if you believe that the Torah is real, or that, the Torah is even, let's say, a history book, at least it's recording something, and it's not saying it happened in secret. You can't deny that this happened because there was public people. It wasn't just between 2 people and nobody else was around. Okay, I think I've made my point. All right, so let's go on. And Abraham was old, advanced in days, and the Lord had blessed. And here we're saying the Lord is Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, which is the aspect of Rachamim. And the Lord had blessed Abraham with everything. But Abraham didn't know the aspect, he didn't know about the aspect of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, because it says later in the Torah to Moses, God says to Moses, I didn't reveal myself in that way. I'm only revealing myself to you in the way of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. So why would the Torah write here that it's Yud-Kei Vav-Kei when Abraham wasn't shown that aspect of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei? He only knew Elohim. But this is, that's a question, I guess, for the rabbis. Okay. And Abraham said to his servant, the elder of his house, who ruled over all that was his. So we don't know from the verses who it is, but his name is Eliezer. Place your hand under my thigh. This is how they used to do, oaths in that time period. And I will adjure you by the Lord of the heaven and the God of the earth. I'm sorry, by the Lord, which is, okay, Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, Ha-Elo Ha-Shemayim, Ve-Elohei Haaretz. So we're talking about the attribute of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei. So Abraham invokes the aspect of Yud-Kei Vav-Kei, which should be the Rachamim. And that we're going to that you'll not take my wife you'll not take a wife from my son from the daughters of the Canaanites. So who knows how many Canaanites there were, in the land at that time. We're talking about at least 7, 10 different tribes. So not a single woman from any one of those tribes was suitable for his son, and in whose midst I dwell. So whatever you want to say about, judging people, Abraham Avinu did not want his son to marry not single one woman. Talk about making a shidduch crisis. But you shall go to my land. So he has to go out of Israel, which Canaan, go back to Iraq. Okay, because where's Abraham from? He wasn't born in Canaan. Abraham was born in what we now call Iraq. Okay, so he has to go. So he has to go to my birthplace, and you shall take a wife for my son Isaac. And the servant said to him, perhaps the woman will not wish to go with me after me to this land. Shall I turn your son to the land from which you came? And Abraham said, beware lest you return my son back there. So even though Abraham wants a woman from where he came from his hometown, he doesn't want Yitzhak to live there. And he's not yet sending Yitzhak to do this job. He's sending a servant. the Lord God of all heavens, the Lord God of the heavens, who took me from my father's house and from the land of my birth, and who spoke about me, and who swore to me, saying, to your seed I will give you this land, meaning Canaan. He will send in him, he will send his angel before you, and you shall take a wife for my son from there. Okay. And which aspect of God are we talking about? Yod Kei Vav Kei. This verse starts out with Yud Kei Vav Kei. All right. And he will send a Malach. But yes, he uses the word angel. And if the woman will not wish to go after you, you'll be absolved from this my oath, and only do not return my son back there. And the servant placed his hand under the thigh of Abraham, his master, and he swore to him concerning this matter. And that's how the second Aliyah. So now we're left in another cliffhanger, and we're up to the third Aliyah. See you soon, and sorry for blowing my nose in the video. Bye. See you soon.